stood out to me this time. This is where the brothers have returned from Egypt after that first visit with Joseph, when they said, "You're spies," and they bound Simeon in front of him, and then he said, "If you want to come back here, you've got to bring Benjamin." And so they go back, and they're kind of, things are getting rough there, and they're going to, not have any food and so forth. And so Jacob says, "Go back and get some grain." And they say, "Well, you know what we got to do? This is we have to bring back Benjamin to get the grain." And the prospect of what the brothers are telling Jacob, what's necessary in order for them to return to Egypt, to get Simeon and then to survive the famine, is really unthinkable for Jacob. I mean, it's really quiet, simple narrative here, but the tension and the desperation is just very palpable. And a little Hebrew translation lesson for you here. I'm sure Dr. Dallaire will concur with this. In verse 6 of chapter 41, my translation, I think it was the TLV, after they're telling Jacob about this, and he says, "Israel said, 'Why did you treat me so badly as to tell the man that you had another brother?'" So a more literal, I think, possible, translation of the Hebrew, and you can concur with me on this here, is that it would say, Israel said, "You idiots! What are you doing? What did you do this for?" But anyways, under the pressure and the absolute desperation of famine and certain impending death from starvation, Jacob reluctantly here in these verses I'm going to read just sends the brothers back with Benjamin. Again, it's a pretty emotional, tense passage. But even with this, I think if you look, it shows Jacob's priorities, even in this utter desperation in these verses here. It says, "Take your brother also, and be on your way again to the man." You'll hear the word ish in there. It just says, "Be on your way to the man." And he also says, "May God Almighty grant you mercy before the man, so that he may send back your brother and Benjamin. As for me, if I am bereaved of my children, I am bereaved." In other words, if I'm bereaved, I'm bereaved. It's pretty basic. But if I'm bereaved, I'm bereaved. But it has to do with El Shaddai, not the man. There's I see a distinction there. You've got the man, and you've got El Shaddai, as crazy as the situation is for Jacob. So regardless of what's confronting you in life, know that your life really has to do with you and God, not you and your circumstances, not you and the man, per se. No matter how difficult your circumstances or the man may seem to be.